Imagine if you could peek into the future, would you see the winning lottery numbers or your next big adventure? From ancient oracles to modern-day psychics, humans have always been obsessed with predicting what's next. Let's learn more in this video. The ancient world. Prophecies of the past. The idea of prophecy isn't new. In fact, it's as old as human civilization. Ancient Egyptians believed that their gods revealed the future through dreams, while the Greeks consulted oracles like the famous Oracle of Delphi. These prophecies were taken seriously and influenced major decisions, from wars to who should rule a kingdom. For example, the biblical story of Joseph tells of how he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams to predict 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine in Egypt. This prophecy was used to prepare for the future, and it saved an entire nation from starvation. But how reliable were these ancient predictions? Were they truly seeing the future or just making educated guesses? Modern-day predictions. Are they different? Today, we still seek to predict the future, but our methods have changed. Instead of oracles and visions, we use data, science, and technology. Meteorologists predict the weather, economists forecast market trends, and scientists model climate change. These modern predictions are based on patterns and evidence rather than divine inspiration, but they're still far from perfect. Take, for instance, weather forecasts. Despite all the technology available, predictions aren't always accurate. A forecast might call for sunshine, but a surprise rainstorm can ruin your plans. This shows that even with all our advancements, predicting the future remains a challenge. The role of psychics. Can they really see the future? Beyond science, there are still those who claim to have supernatural abilities to see the future. Psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers offer predictions about love, life, and fortune. Many people turn to them for guidance, seeking answers to life's uncertainties. But can psychics truly see the future, or are they simply offering general advice that could apply to anyone? One of the most famous predictions in pop culture is from The Simpsons. The show has been credited with predicting several real-world events, like Donald Trump becoming president. But is this true prophecy, or just coincidence? Some argue that with hundreds of episodes and thousands of jokes, it's inevitable that a few would align with reality. Others believe that the writers have an uncanny ability to see ahead. The Simpsons predicts President Trump. One of the most talked about Simpsons predictions occurred in an episode from the year 2000 titled Bart to the Future. In this episode, Lisa Simpson becomes President of the United States and casually mentions that the country is recovering from the presidency of Donald Trump. This seemed like a far-fetched joke at the time, but in 2016, it became a reality. The show's creators later explained that they were simply making an outrageous joke, not trying to predict the future. Yet the eerie accuracy of this prediction left many fans wondering if the writers had some secret insight into the future of American politics. The smartwatch prediction. Wearable technology foreseen. In a 1995 episode titled Lisa's Wedding, The Simpsons predicted the rise of wearable technology long before it became mainstream. The episode, set in the future, shows a character using a watch to make a phone call, something that seemed futuristic at the time. Fast forward to the present day, and smartwatches like the Apple Watch are a common sight. This is another example of how The Simpsons seemed to predict a technological advancement that would eventually become part of everyday life. But was this really a prophecy, or just a logical guess about the direction technology was heading? The prediction of the Nobel Prize winner. In another episode, The Simpsons made a strikingly accurate prediction about a Nobel Prize winner. In a 2010 episode titled Elementary School Musical, Milhouse bets that Bengt Holmstrom will win the Nobel Prize in Economics. 6 years later, in 2016, Holmstrom did indeed win the prestigious award. While this might seem like an incredible prediction, it's worth noting that Holmstrom was already a well-known economist at the time the episode aired. So while it may appear prophetic, this prediction could simply be the result of careful research by the show's writers. The FIFA scandal. Corruption predicted. In 2014, an episode of The Simpsons featured a storyline about corruption in international soccer. The episode shows Homer being asked to help clean up the corruption within the fictional World Football Federation, a clear reference to FIFA. Just a year later, in 2015, a massive FIFA corruption scandal erupted, leading to the indictment of several high-ranking officials. This prediction is another example of how The Simpsons seemed to have its finger on the pulse of global events. But again, it could be argued that the writers were simply drawing on existing rumors and suspicions about FIFA, rather than making a genuine prediction. Siegfried and Roy attack. Life imitates art. In a 1993 episode titled Dollar Pringfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling, The Simpsons features a duo of magicians who closely resemble the real-life performers Siegfried and Roy. In the episode, one of the magicians is attacked by his own trained tiger during a performance. Sadly, in 2003, Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy was indeed attacked by a tiger during a live show, leaving him severely injured. This shocking event mirrored the episode of The Simpsons in an uncanny way, making many wonder if the show had once again predicted the future. The faulty voting machine, an election prediction. In a 2008 episode, The Simpsons featured a faulty voting machine that changes Homer's vote from Barack Obama to John McCain. In a real-life parallel during the 2012 election, there were reports of electronic voting machines malfunctioning and flipping votes in several states. This raised concerns about the integrity of the voting process and the possibility of election interference. Once again, The Simpsons appeared to be ahead of the curve, predicting a real-world issue that would later become a significant topic of discussion during an actual election. Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance, a dazzling prediction. In a 2012 episode titled Lisa Goes Gaga, The Simpsons featured a storyline where Lady Gaga performs a concert while flying through the air on wires. In 2017, Lady Gaga's Super Bowl halftime show featured a strikingly similar performance, with the singer descending from the roof of the stadium while suspended on wires. This visual similarity between the animated performance and the real-life event led many fans to once again marvel at The Simpsons' apparent ability to predict the future. Was it just a coincidence, or did the show's creators have an inside look at Gaga's future plans? Coincidence or fate? What's really at work? When we hear about accurate predictions, it's tempting to believe that something supernatural is at play. However, many experts argue that what we're seeing is simply coincidence. Given enough guesses, some predictions are bound to come true. It's like throwing darts at a board eventually. One will hit the bullseye. For example, in the case of The Simpsons, the show has aired more than 700 episodes. With that many predictions, it's almost inevitable that some of them would come true. But what about those rare cases where a prediction seems too accurate to be mere chance? Is there more going on than we realize? That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this exploration into the world of prophecies and predictions, be sure to like and subscribe for more engaging content. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the mysteries of the future.